I would like to talk about Zoe Saldana for a minute because someone brought this to my attention and I was wondering that too. I was wondering because someone told me that they gave me this like web article to read, and I was reading that someone brought up an interesting story about, does she ever work with black leading male actors in their movies? It just seems like a lot of movies that Zoe does, she works with white males in the movies and their leading roles. Like, what that means is that whenever she does a movie, her leading co-star is always white. It's never really black. And I don't know, like, it was interesting because the article talked about, because someone mentioned it and said, I was watching some of her movies and I noticed that all her male leading roles are white. There never really seems to be a black person she works with. Like, she doesn't really work with Denzel Washington or Morris Chestnut or Forrest Whitaker or anybody famous that's a leading black role. So, because I noticed that, because I noticed that with the exception of the movie The Heart Specialist, which seems to be like the only really film that she does work with black people in, a lot of them, her male stars that she worked with are white. Like, for example, Star Trek, The Takers, you have The Terminal, even the movie Crossroads, she worked with somebody white, only it was a white female. So the question, a lot of, the article brought my attention on is, why doesn't she work with, like, black people? Is it because, is it her that, she'd rather work with white people in movies, or is it because of the demand that there's not a big demand in movies for African American women to kind of go in and say, you know what, I want to work with black people, but it's just the movies and what the script is written for. And something, I'm looking at her film credits, and it's true. You look at Guess Who, she's working with a white man. The Terminal, she's working with a white man. Avatar, Star Trek, Takers, The Losers. It just seems like she works with white males, and I don't really see her working with black people. And I don't know if that's because is that her? I honestly believe that she really needs to start working with more black people, because come on, girl, you're a beautiful actress, but damn, I don't know if that's just you, because personally, it's got to be the actor's choice. It's not like she's an unknown star. She played in Avatar, one of the most successful science fiction films of our time. So did that role kind of make her think, well, you know what, well, I'd rather just work with white actors instead of black actors? Because it is interesting. I don't know why she does that. I would think you'd be a little bit more versatile. Personally, I'm not like a big Zoe fan like that. If she's in the movie and if she's good, hey, whatever. I like Star Trek, don't get me wrong. Avatar, that's like whatever. But with the exception of a few of these films that she's done, they're all white males that she's acting with. And I just was wondering, why doesn't she just work with other actors, other minority actors? She doesn't seem to do that. It was an interesting article because someone kept saying you never see her work with Denzel. She's a big star just like he is. Why aren't you working with him? I never see you in a Spike Lee joint. Why aren't you working with him? This is just one of these. I hate those type of blacks that feel like, what, well, in order to get into the movie business, you gotta play the white man's game. It's like, give me a fucking break. You would think in today's time, where so much changes are happening in our society, that actresses would do that. It's sort of like she's like the opposite version of what's his name, Tyler Perry. While she rather work with white actors and make that money working with whites, Tyler Perry likes to take movies and disrespect black people, making them into making coon films. So it's like, I think that Zoe does that just for the stardom. She figured, you know what, I'm gonna make a lot of money by working with them. So, if you want to work with white actors, hey, do what you got to do to make that money. I think, personally, you kind of want to spread yourself a little bit and work with some minority actors. You're trying to do that with the heart specialists, and you're trying to do that with takers, but most of your movies, I do notice, you've been working with the white people. So, I don't know. It's just interesting that, she's doing that. So, Zoe, snap out of it, girl. You're a black sister. You're a beautiful black sister, but you need to snap out of it. So, go back to working with the brothers. Stop working with white males all day. Tell your agent to get you roles with Denzel Washington. Get your roles with Spike Lee. Do a movie with the Hughes brothers. Do something. Just stop doing those little stupid ass films where you seem to be ass kissing white people. I mean, you're worse than that crazy bitch what's her name? Sandra Rhimes, who writes Grey's Anatomy. All those episodes in Grey's Anatomy are nothing but a white woman's world of loving, kissing, and hugging white people. So, Zoe, cut that shit out. Start working with different actors and actresses. Be a little bit more versatile and stop sucking up the white. So, use your mind. It's your best fucking weapon, girl.